Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into it. Peace, kings, peace, queens, peace, beloveds, all my star seeds, and all my earth angels, and my intuitives, my mystics, everybody. Hey, y'all. So, today I wanted to just go ahead and jump right into this. The Most High wanted me to talk about the weather, but before I get into that, I've been informed by the angels that you guys are questioning the validity of what I'm saying, what I'm covering. You guys, a lot of people are wondering where I'm getting my information, how credible it is. Number one, I'm getting it from the Creator and the angels, right? Like I said, I will never go on a rant and start talking about something that I don't have information about or that I don't know enough about to have a full-fledged conversation, let alone 15 minutes, right? However, you don't have to rely on man. What did God tell us? To not put our trust and our faith in man, to trust and believe in him. So anytime you want to check the validity of what someone is sharing with you, you have the resources and the free will to do so. So you don't have to rely on what someone else is telling you. You don't have to take someone's word for it. You don't have to believe what someone is saying because it sounds good or because they look or seem like they may know what they're talking about. You may very well go and do all the extensive research that you want to do if you feel that someone's jerking you around, or if you feel like what they're giving you is wrong or being stifled or watered down. You can always go behind people and check the validity of their statements. You have Google. You have Google Scholar. Me, myself, I prefer Google Scholar because Google Scholar is a portal where a bunch of peer-reviewed articles and journals and stories and books can be found on literally anything that people have done research on. And everything that we're talking about it's not new. It's nothing new under the sun. So if you feel you need to question what it is that, you're hearing, then by all means, make sure what it is that you're receiving is, something that you need to even be consuming. Number one, pay attention to how the information is resonating with your spirit. That's number one. Number two, also pay attention to how you can easily apply that information to any scenario. So if you hear someone talking and you want to know if what they're saying is true, whatever it is that they're telling you, you should be able to apply that to anything in real life, in real time, right? So you don't have to wonder much about anything. I mean, you can always do the research yourself. And like I said, call in, email me, text me, let's talk about it. The things you may come across. You might come across something that I didn't see or wasn't aware of. And when we have a particular conversation, it may ignite a particular fire in the both of us or all parties that are engaging in that particular conversation. So don't ever feel like you have to just, and not me, I'm just saying anything in general when it comes to information in general. You don't have to take people up on their word. You always have the free will to follow up and get your own information. You don't have to always trust what someone is telling you, whether they're a scholar, a leader, an investor, a family member, a friend, an employer, a colleague. It doesn't matter. If you feel like what someone is saying to you is questionable, you can always check for yourself, right? So that's first and foremost. That's just to those who have been questioning, the source of my information, the validity of it, and just really wanting to know like where and how and what and who. Like I said, the Most High gives me a topic. He will actually give me a topic around Sunday or Monday, and I'll contemplate on it for the whole week. And by the time Sunday comes back around, I wouldn't actually know by Friday or Saturday if it's something that I'll be prepared to discuss on the potty. And then if not, I'll just ask him to give me a new topic if I'm not comfortable. But most times, if he's giving me a topic, I've been getting signs and synchronicities and symbols throughout the entire week to confirm that, yes, that is what I should be discussing this upcoming Sunday. So I think I said that quite a few times on how I know what to talk about for that particular week. He'll tell me last week, and by the day, I would know for sure, like, okay, what I'm going to say. Sometimes I write it down. Sometimes I don't have to, because it's a topic that I'm well informed on, and I don't really have to do a lot of research on it at that time, unless we're going to go into more depth, and unless someone has questions and I've been made aware of the question, and I could do a little more extensive research based on, the conversation. Okay, so now back to this weather. So weather is one way that the universe and the angels and the Most High communicates with all of his creation, not just human beings, all of the animals, the plants, the water, everything. It's his way of communicating with us. We know that when it snows, we might not be able to cultivate food. We know that it's cold outside. We know that it's winter time. When it's raining and when it's warm, we know that it's time to start planting and cultivating. And start cultivating and start really just trying to get prepared for harvest season, right? So the weather is going to always communicate with you what's going on in the ethers and how to properly align yourself and your decision making with what's going on around you. So I'll give you an example. If like right now, how I'm in the Northeast, right? I'm in Jersey. So if I'm in New Jersey in October or November, we would assume, right? Typically, it's usually cold. It's usually 50 degrees or less. I would say 40 by now. But just last week or so, we had high 70, low 80 degree weather, right? For a consecutive amount of days, right? So with that being said, and knowing what we know so far, we know that is the universe's way of saying, hey, right now I'm in balance. I'm trying to figure some things out. Things are chaotic up here right now. So watch out. You might want to put on an extra layer of protection, because what happens when it's warm this time of year, a lot of people get sick, and they get gravely sick, not just like a regular cold or flu. A lot of people catch pneumonia around this time because the weather is tricky, and a lot of people don't know how to properly dress. It's a lot of different factors, but the main point that I'm making is that the universe is chaotic and out of alignment and really, really just acting crazy. Like it needs to be balanced and stabilized, right? So I did a little research, and I found out that basically all of the years where the weather was at record worthy numbers, like high or low, a lot of events happened. So one of the most interesting ones that I've come across was for 1938. In 1938, it was 80 degrees. I'm sorry, it was 78 degrees in 1938 on November 7th. So that was like one of the records that have been broken recently. It was 81 degrees. It was 81 degrees this past November 7th, right? So that was a new record for November, a high for November. The highest we've ever seen since then was in 1938. November 7th in 1938, it was 78 degrees. So I went and I started researching like what events took place in 1938 and how about it. The Nazis marched in to Austria in 1938, and November 9th, 1938, the German Jews were terrorized by Nazis, right? The Nazis were avenging the murder of German official by a Jewish refugee. This led to much of the hostility and terrible violence of World War II. So, again, October 22nd, 1938, the invention of the xerography, the May Crisis was a brief episode of international tension in 1938 caused by reports of German troop movements against Slovakia. Nazi decree, December 1938, ordering all Roma over the age of 6 to be registered with the police. German, Italy, Great Britain, and France signed the Munich Agreement in September of 1938. So if you get what I'm saying, right? The German government issues the decree of the elimination of the Jews from economic life on November 12th of 1938. So, and I'm pretty sure because I've done a lot of different numbers and I play with it. So if you understand what I'm saying, then I think it's self-explanatory. And I think that the Most High gave me that topic intentionally for us to start paying more attention to the weather, because history has always shown us that weather is a great communicator of the universe. And if you want to know what's going on and if things are out of whack, the weather would be one sure way to communicate that to us. And it is our duty to find out what needs to be regulated, where to regulate those things. So I really think it's important to really kind of just stay focused on how to properly navigate things that seem weird and odd. And again, I think that I've been purposely, well, obviously it's purposeful, but I think the Most High had given me this topic strategically at a time like now, so people can start kind of like paying more attention. And I mean, like the dressing thing and how you dress and not dressing properly, that's just like one factor that's all the way down at the bottom of the line, right? Because typically it will boil down to your genetics and how strong your immune system is and how easily your immune system would fight off any types of illness, especially at the height of a transition from one season to another. So I think that within itself is just one factor, like I said. But I mean, we could always break those factors down into smaller particles. But the overall point that I'm trying to make is that the weather is one way for us to communicate. I mean, even if you pay attention to like the hurricane season, obviously when you go to certain geographic locations, they have these events more than others. But around those places, you'll see things like much rain, like an odd amount of rain around that particular time, around that region. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. So I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment. Really just go and look up the years for the records for highs and lows of the weather. So it said 1938, we were at 78 degrees in November, and then 2022 was a year that we broke. So basically that's God's way of saying this is particularly a year to pretty much make history. That's basically the point. You know, these are years for the books. These are years where things are going to be life-changing and record-worthy. So with that being said, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I just really wanted you guys to kind of start thinking along those lines. I mean, try to just change your perspective on how you perceive things that are like natural, like things that are beyond your control. Is your perception of that thing healthy? Do you function within that thing in a healthy manner, right? So we're at 16 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you guys are going to enjoy your Sunday and you're going to eat a good meal, get some rest, drink some water. And yeah, I hope all is well and you guys have a good week, an upcoming week. Thanksgiving is on the way. Happy Turkey Day. My birthday is around now, so yeah. Peace. Happy New Year's to me.